on an all-new Dr. Phil.
The man of her dreams, Simon, left and this never returned 2 years ago. Sheila says she has driven over 80,000 miles in search of her true love.
She believes her ex-boyfriend
I hear songs, I follow the clues.
sends her messages through the radio.
I heard 99 red balloons. Oh, there's a balloon right there.
It's nuts. You are relentless.
Yeah, Simon called me relentless.
Is it true love?
What if it turns out that he hasn't, in fact, given you a second thought in 2 years?
But I'm positive I've seen him a number of times.
Is her search finally over?
We launched an international investigation to find Simon. He's in this building right now. Come on down. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Sheila says that when the love of her life, Simon, said goodbye, he claimed he was just going away for a few days, but promised to return with flowers and a limousine. And who doesn't want that limousine moment like Julia Roberts had with Richard Gere in Pretty Woman? Well, that was over 2 years ago, and that face-to-face moment never happened for Sheila because Simon, well, he just never returned. Now, I say face-to-face because Sheila claims that she has been in contact with Simon since he disappeared. Sheila claims that before Simon left, he programmed and bugged the radio stations in her car and her iPad so he could send her messages and clues as to his whereabouts via song titles and lyrics. Kind of like a love scavenger hunt. Now, Sheila's brother Curtis and her best friend Leanne claim she is delusional, mentally unstable, and is putting herself in danger searching for Simon.
Sheila is obsessed with finding this guy, Simon. It's all she does. It's all she thinks about.
Sheila claims that Simon is the love of her life, her soulmate. Right now, Sheila thinks that I'm hiding Simon from her in my home.
She thinks I've been in contact with him. I'm lying to her about that.
In Sheila's head, her and Simon are together as a couple.
He thinks we're going to go up in flames if we actually make contact.
Sheila has told me that Simon is contacting her through songs on the radio. She will get in her car and drive around all day to try and find Simon based on these clues of the songs.
I drove around here a number of times going to a bunch of apartments looking for numbers on houses and stuff.
She's been driving all around thinking she sees him dressed in disguises. She thinks she's being videotaped. Her car is bugged. Her phone is bugged.
Sheila's been admitted to a psychiatric hospital twice. She always seems to get out really quickly, and she manipulates the staff to believe that everything's fine. In the beginning of this year, Sheila drove down to Mexico by herself from Canada.
She spent at least $10,000 on gas trying to find Simon.
I was in Mexico for about a month looking for Simon. I believe I saw him for sure twice.
She keeps thinking he's been in her hotel room. He's been following her around in Mexico.
It seemed like she was on a suicide mission if Simon didn't contact her.
I've told Sheila that Simon probably just thinks she's bad crazy and doesn't want anything to do with her.
Here's Sheila talking about some of those clues that set her off on an 80,000-mile road trip to find Simon. And I'm talking about across Canada, America, and Mexico.
Last February, I drove from Canada to Mexico looking for Simon. I hear a song's title or lyrics, I follow the clues. I'm supposed to just choose a set of key lyrics from a song. Every single station is synced in with what I'm doing or where he wants me to go. It's my iPod on shuffle. Sometimes I get a clear message from him, but I think his ex-girlfriend can also control my iPod. with her mind. In fact, I'm positive she can. I love you just the way you are, which he told me. I actually drove into this Paris apartment, and as I did, the song I Go Blind came on. So I had the idea that he was actually in one of these apartments watching me go by. I heard the lyrics, 99 red balloons. Oh, but there's a balloon right there. I saw the red balloons on the wires overhead, and I thought that I was on the right track, just like every other time. My eyes go blurry when he's nearby, and they're fine right now. And I think that's part of his paranoia or something. You know, if anybody who can't see what this is doing to me, and help me, and just tell me what's going on. Tell me where he is if they know where he is.
Okay, well, we're going to meet Sheila in just a bit. She is here. We did get her off the road and get her here. But first, I want to talk to her brother Curtis and her best friend Leanne. And thank you guys for being here. What do you think's her mindset right now?
Well, I think she'll probably be very angry at Curtis and I for arranging the show and contacting you, and really we want resolution, but I think she's going to be quite angry.
She's referred to you as a meddling bitch and this and that, but what does she think your motive is here?
She thinks that her mother and I are keeping Simon from her.
I guess you've crossed the threshold of saying you're willing to sacrifice your friendship, at least temporarily, or even permanently, if it means getting her help and getting her better.
Yes.
It takes a really good friend to do that. So, well, Jessica, for doing that. I want to take a look at what Sheila believes about Simon. This is, as we've talked to her, she believes that he has programmed her radio, iPod, and bugged her car. That he sends clues via songs concerning his location. He sends clues via horoscopes. Controls the radio with his mind, that he can, you know, put something on the radio, that he's some kind of psychic wizard with mystical powers, and that there's some kind of deadly brain injury that he has, and that explains some of his erratic behavior, and that she's seen him 2 times in Mexico and refuses to meet to avoid losing $500,000, that if he meets her, there's a $500,000 prize money that he sacrifices if he meets her. It doesn't make sense, but this is what she articulates, right? And that twin flames will combust if they get too close, that they'll burst into flames. Let me say a couple of things about this. The most dangerous lie is that which has a kernel of truth. And she has had a relationship with Simon. She did rekindle a relationship at one time. He has been in and out of her life. That is true. So there is a kernel of truth. And then the second concept I want to introduce is called the Barnum Statement. Now, Barnum statements are statements that are so broad that they can fit anyone.
Like horoscopes.
Okay? Yeah, like horoscopes, exactly. They're so broad that they fit everyone. And so some of these things that she believes are not really specific, and so it's hard to pin her down. So that's what we're dealing with here. And what I want to try to do is penetrate the system, and don't let her alienate you. Don't take the bait. If she gets mad at you, starts spitting things out, just don't take the bait. You don't have to react. Okay?
It's going to be tough.
I know. Just hang in there. All right. Sheila says she's convinced that Leanne and Curtis know where Simon is, but they're refusing to tell her just flat out of spite. Sheila's coming out right after the break.
He seems to keep trying to tell me to meet him places, but he's never there. I looked up and saw, I think, Simon standing at the top of that staircase. I'm not imagining it, because I have followed cars to specific locations and people were waiting for me, and it was all based on songs on the radio. I'm gonna find him, and it's not anybody else's business if we're together or not.
And later, This is reality check time.
There's been a lot of really weird stuff.
Are you telling me there's some conspiracy that the police are involved in?
It's possible, yeah.
Monday, a husband's shocking admission.
He was exposing himself to his mother-in-law like 10 times.
It was more than 10.
I can't believe him. I can't believe her. Who do you believe?
Why didn't she tell her daughter?
She stood there. She watched.
I was disgusted.
But you didn't come to me and tell me.
I didn't know what to do.
You walk away, you get out, you do something, but you don't just get some popcorn and sit there.
Then on Tuesday, his ex-wife
You've not seen your boys.
wants this man
Her 81-year-old fiance.
to adopt their children.
That won't happen. Those are my boys.
That's Tuesday.
When Sheila's ex-boyfriend, Simon, left her 2 years ago, that's when things really went sideways. The breakup sent her over the edge.
I don't want anything to do with her the way she's behaving.
Now that Sheila's like this, I just can't be around her.
It's just been absolute hell for 2 years. Absolute hell.
Well, we just heard Sheila's brother Curtis and her best friend Leanne tell us how Sheila started to change when the man of her dreams, Simon, left and just never returned 2 years ago. Now, Sheila says she hasn't seen Simon face to face since then. However, she believes that before he left, he programmed her car radio, he programmed her iPod, so he could send her clues through song lyrics and song titles. These are clues that she thinks would lead her to his location so they could briefly see each other. I say briefly because she believes if the encounter lasts any longer, the man she's pursuing stands to lose a large sum of money. Take a look.
I don't think I'm crazy, delusional, or bipolar. I wish my family and friends would just listen to me and try to understand what's happening. I need to find my ex-boyfriend, Simon, because I'm concerned about him. Simon and I met in 1992 at a nightclub. We dated for 3 or 4 years, and we drifted apart in 1995. 3 years ago, I found him again online. Last year, Simon left my house. He said he would be back in 2 days with a limo and a big bouquet of flowers. Never saw him again face to face. Last year, Simon told me that he had programmed radio stations I listened to. And this was for us to connect on a deeper level. It seemed like he was controlling it or somebody was cooperating with him to control it.
Simon has sent me messages or clues to follow cars on the radio. I'd say at least a half a dozen times that I've actually followed vehicles. Fast Car came on by Tracy Chapman as a fast car drove by me when I was following the slow ride. I took off and followed the fast car, and I think I was supposed to stick with the slow ride.
I'm not imagining it because I have followed cars to specific locations and people were waiting for me, and it was all based on songs on the radio.
The song Stairway to Heaven came on as I was coming around the corner here, and I looked up and saw, I think, Simon standing at the top of that staircase. And I thought, I don't think I can get up there because I have arthritis. By the time I drove around to the top, he was gone.
It seems like there's two opposing forces. Somebody's trying to sort of interfere between us so that we don't meet up. He seems to keep trying to tell me to meet him places, but he's never there. My best friend Leanne and my brother Curtis don't believe me. They keep telling me to get help. Leanne plays games with my feelings. She's insensitive. She told me to just get over it. I think Leanne's a bitch for questioning me on this, especially if she does know anything. My brother Curtis apparently thinks I'm out of control and crazy. Curtis is working with Simon against me. It's totally sad that I can only see Simon just glancing him at the side of the road. I know these messages are real. I trust him. He doesn't lie to me. I'm gonna find him, and it's not anybody else's business if we're together or not.
Okay, it's good to meet you.
You too.
I consider myself to be very open-minded. I mean, I'll consider any possibility and all possibilities.
Okay.
But I have to ask you to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you honestly commit to do the same?
Yes, I can consider all possibilities, yeah.
I mean, because I guess...
just know what I've experienced, and there's no real... I mean, unless you were... That's the problem. Unless you were there, you may not believe it. But if you were there and I was,
it's unmistakable
Well,
that
that's
I'm not imagining it.
Well, that's not being open-minded, though, because the question I have for you, what if, I'm not saying this is true yet, we don't know, we're going to figure this out, you and I.
Okay.
But what if you misinterpreted things and ran it through a filter where you personalized things that weren't really personal? Now, tell me why you think he would be doing this.
The radio stuff?
Yeah, instead of just calling you and saying, hey, what's up?
He told me he wanted us to connect on a deeper level. Maybe he wants me to write a story, like a fantasy or something, and it's just gotten out of control. Or
Why wouldn't he just tell you that?
I think part of it for him was he wanted me to connect with him using my intuition and my instincts.
Okay, well, role play with me for a minute.
Okay.
So assume that this is all one-sided and that Simon has not been communicating with you, he's not been programming your radio, he's not been sending you messages. What if it turns out that he hasn't, in fact, given you a second thought in 2 years? He's gone on and done other things. Where would you be?
That's fine. I would still like to talk to him.
Okay.
And then get an explanation for it, but...
Okay, but let's say you've had the explanation and you're left with the reality that he's moved on in his life, and so there's no more mystery, no more puzzle to solve.
Well, that would be a relief. Yeah. But I'm positive I've seen him a number of times.
No, you're not positive. You don't have a picture. You don't have. You think you might have seen him.
I think I might have seen him.
You've never
or
been able to,
they may have been people.
It's like the Loch Ness Monster. You've never been able to capture him. You've just seen him.
That's right.
Right?
I'm sure I saw him at the top of that stairway to heaven.
No, you're not. You think you did. Because when you got around there, he wasn't there.
Well, I know, but it was exactly the way he moves his arm and everything. So, you know, when you know people and their particular movements and stuff, it was
But if it turns out he's moved on with his life, you're okay with that?
Yeah.
You'd rather know than not know, right?
I would rather know than not know, yes.
Okay.
I would like
What do you want for her?
I would like it to be over as well, and for Sheila to come back and maybe even start her life to find new love.
You can be pretty relentless about this. you talk about it
he
pretty
called me
innocent.
relentless.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
poor choice of words. How do you feel about your sister?
I love my sister. She's my sister, right? Like, and it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And there's nothing that seems to get through to this.
Sheila's father says he even considered hiring a private investigator to track Simon down and put an end to his daughter's thinking once and for all. Well, we're going to talk to him next. We'll be right back.
My daughter, Sheila, for her to move forward as an individual and for us to move forward as a family, she needs to find Simon, confront him, and put it behind her.
And later, we launched an international investigation to find Simon. He's in this building right now. Come on out, Simon.
Have a hug? No?
Wednesday on an all-new Dr. Phil. He'll fight stronger.
My mom is so religious. She thinks any skirt over the knee is sinful.
To protect the innocent.
You tried to read the Harry Potter books?
It promotes witchcraft. There's something wrong with you.
You're a waste of a life. I'm sorry, Dr. Phil, but...
Well, you should be sorry. You've not said one positive thing about this young woman since you walked out here.
That's Wednesday.
I got a message from my iPod this summer, which I find more reliable to get direct communication with Simon than the radio. To go downtown, I was checking the playlist to see if there was anything else more that I needed to do, and I looked across the street and there was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, skinny guy, and he seemed like he saw me and made a beeline for me right from this gas station here. He came right over to me and asked me if I could give him a ride. I said sure, because I just knew that he had been sent there for Simon.
Well, Sheila says she has driven over 80,000 miles from her home in Canada all the way down to Mexico in search of her true love. Sheila's father, Wes, says that his daughter's obsession with tracing Simon has just gone too far, and by that, he doesn't mean distance.
My daughter Sheila is of the belief that her ex-boyfriend is being kept from her, and her mother is lying to her and keeping them apart. She believes that my wife is hiding some information from her that will allow her to find this man. There have been numerous instances where she and I have had heated conversations where she will break down and start crying, saying she doesn't understand, she wants some answers. She has lived with us for the last 15+ years. Sheila has to be removed from the house simply to maintain a level of sanity. She believes that there is a conspiracy that we all know and have seen Simon, but we are refusing to tell her. The problem I have with this man that she is searching for is that he has disappeared. She even filed a missing persons report. They told her that they had found him. He's alive. She did not believe them. He obviously would have to know that she is looking for him. He will not even give the courtesy of calling her. For her to move forward as an individual, and for us to move forward as a family, she needs to find Simon, confront him, and put it behind her.
Well, Sheila's father, Wes, is going to join us now via Skype. So, Wes, what is it you want to see happen here?
My hope for her is that she will, in fact, come to grips with the issue as it really is, and that Simon is not going to be part of her life, and that there's no way to do that until she's able to confront Simon and hear exactly from him what he thinks the relationship is or is not.
Well, on March 18th, you actually filed a missing persons report for Simon, right?
Yeah.
And you say the police said that Simon was alive and did not want to talk to you right now, correct?
Yeah, but there was some discrepancies with that. My dad doesn't know, my brother doesn't know, because none of them listen to me.
Okay,
like,
but
none of them will even listen to me.
Well, I'm listening to you, right?
Okay.
Okay, but now, remember, we're being open-minded here. Are you telling me that there's some conspiracy that the police are involved in?
It's possible, yeah.
Now, Sheila, this is reality check time. You're just not that important.
Well, I know that, but...
No, you don't know that.
No, I do.
No, you don't. To say that law enforcement entered into some conspiracy to tell you that they found someone and they said they just didn't want to talk to you, that's not the simplest explanation. The simplest explanation is that they used their resources and found someone, and he said he's moved on and doesn't want to have contact right now. Isn't that the simplest explanation?
It's the simplest, and I can see why you would think that, but the fact is that there are cops who can be bought off.
No matter what anybody says to you, you're going to say, yeah, but, because you're not being open-minded.
No, I would be open-minded.
You're not
I would
being
want
now.
a few more answers from him than just I'm moving on.
No, there's no end to how many questions you're going to ask, because you just don't want to accept the answer.
No, I could accept that answer easily. It's other questions about, like, I want to know whether I did imagine some of these things, or whether he set it up, or, you know, I mean, we could be friends even if he's moved on.
Well, Sheila claims, among other things, that her car and her iPod have been bugged or tampered with. Well, I sent an investigator who has worked with the FBI to Sheila's home to investigate, and I mean thoroughly. I'm going to reveal what he found out next.
Today I'm going to search Sheila's iPod and car for potential bugs. So essentially, as I move through, I'm looking for signs of where any wiring or electrical systems may have been tampered with. GPS devices are usually about the size of a pack of cigarettes at least.
And later, we found 121 Simons with the exact last name, and we narrowed it down even further to one Simon who seemed to fit the description of Sheila Simon. He's in this building right now.
My ex-boyfriend Simon is also using horoscopes to get messages across to me.
Sheila will read and automatically think that the message is pertaining to her.
She's looking into horoscopes for signs as to where to find Simon. My whole family has had enough already. We can't deal with it anymore. She needs to stop it. Stop reading the horoscopes.
Now, Sheila claims her car has been bugged by her ex-boyfriend Simon with either a listening or tracking device. So I sent Thimi Gideros, an investigator with over 15 years experience working with various agencies, including the CIA and the FBI, to conduct a thorough inspection. Take a look.
I have 15 years experience with private investigations. I've worked with various organizations, CIA and FBI. Today I'm going to search Sheila's iPod and car for potential bugs. So I'm going to start at the rear of the vehicle, then I'm going to work my way forward through the interior and the front hood of the car, and then I'm going to hit the undercarriage. So essentially as I move through, I'm looking for signs of where any wiring or electrical systems may have been tampered with. If there's a bug in the car, I'd know because it's going to have a certain signature within the vehicle. GPS devices are usually about the size of a pack of cigarettes at least. Looking again for any hardwire into the battery systems, the electrical systems leading into the front dash. And after going through the vehicle and the iPod, I found no signs of monitoring or listening devices. In my opinion, this vehicle is bug-free.
Your car is not bugged, has not been bugged. Your iPod has not been bugged, is not bugged. So nobody's programming anything in your car.
Okay, somebody else told me that all vehicles after a certain age, if the ignition is on, that there is audio recording for accident things and stuff.
I brought you a world-class expert that went through your car and told you it is not, has not been bugged in any way whatsoever.
Okay.
Do you accept that?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe he's reading my mind. For example, one day, I had the impression that I was supposed to head towards Calgary, drive south. A song, Wild Things, came on, and Money City Maniacs, which means Calgary. And I said, is it the zoo I'm supposed to go to? And the song Sabotage came on. And then a guy passed me on my left-hand side, and I turned to look at him, and he went, shh. And then the song Don't Speak came on the radio.
Your car wasn't bugged or programmed.
Well, I mean, when you've got a cell phone on and it's got like Facebook Messenger.
Okay, so I wasted thousands of dollars proving that your car, iPod, all of that has not been tampered with. I just wasted all that time, all that money. He's not tracking, he's not sending you messages. Your car's not bugged. He doesn't have the ability to send you messages through your radio.
We've been telling her this for a long time.
This is what happens. It just keeps...
But nobody knows what Simon said to me and what we discussed. Nobody will let me or listen to me. I'm going to have to write it all down.
Well, we listen to you, but we keep saying, no, that doesn't make any sense. And you just
haven't listened
are relentless.
Anything, and I've asked you specifics.
I listen to it all. Every time I ever see you, it's the only thing you talk about.
You used
Simon
to
says, Simon says.
Gangster rap. And I said, well, why don't you go back and listen to some gangster rap and see what Simon says through that? But you seem to just have this loop of the same song.
If you ever talk to Simon and he says he did not communicate with you in any way over the last 2 years and he has moved on, you will let it go.
Oh, I will let it go.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wrote this down. If Simon says he did not communicate in any way and he has moved on, I will let it go.
You want me to repeat that?
No, I want you to sign it.
Okay.
We told Sheila we would look into all of her claims about Simon and his whereabouts. I will reveal the results of our investigations when we come back, and I promise we're not in cahoots with the police. We launched an international investigation to find Simon. He's in this building right now. Come on out, Simon.
No.
No?
Monday, a husband's shocking admission.
He was exposing himself to his mother-in-law like 10 times.
It was more than 10.
I can't believe him. I can't believe her. Who do you believe?
Why didn't she tell her daughter?
She stood there. She watched.
I was disgusted.
But you didn't come to me and tell me.
I didn't know what to do.
You walk away, you get out, you do something, but you don't just get some popcorn and sit there.
Then on Tuesday, his ex-wife
You've not seen your boys.
wants this man,
Her 81-year-old fiance,
to adopt their children.
That won't happen. Those are my boys.
That's Tuesday.
My friends and family keep saying I'm delusional. I am totally fine. It's none of their business, really. They just don't understand what's going on. I am not crazy. I am not delusional. I'm not bipolar. The truth is, I'm pretty calm. I'm much more emotionally stable than anyone in my family. If I was seriously ill or a danger to myself or others, they wouldn't have released me from the psych ward.
Also joining us is Dr. Charles Sophie. He's board certified in 3 clinical specialties: adult psychiatry, child and adolescent psychiatry, and family practice. He's a dear friend of mine. He's a colleague. He's on the Dr. Phil Advisory Board, and I've asked him to help us with this and help us understand what might be going on. And I've asked you to sign something that says, if Simon says that he did not communicate with you in any way and he has moved on, I will let it go. And you signed it. You didn't say, well, I want to ask 152 more questions, blah, 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 blah. You said, I'll take him at his word and I'll let it go. I'll move on.
I would still have some questions for him about things that have happened. Why he would tell me that he was programming the radio, why he would tell me that he spent a bunch of money on me, why he would tell me that he had the horoscopes written. I want to know, what has this been? What was the point of the last 3 years of Crazy Town?
We launched an international investigation to find Simon. Our search covered a landmass of over 8 million square miles. We searched for him across Mexico, Canada, the United States. We found 121 Simons with the exact last name, and we narrowed it down even further to one Simon who seemed to fit the description of Sheila Simon. He's in this building right now. Come on out, Simon.
No,
No?
not today. Sorry, that's false.
Simon, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
First off, Sheila, is this the right Simon?
It is.
Have you been programming her radio and communicating with her through songs?
Not in any way, shape, or form, no.
Okay. Have you bugged her car in any way?
No.
Have you bugged her cell phone in any way?
No.
Have you been monitoring her in any way?
Not in any way.
Have you got $500,000 that if you get near her, the two of you are going to burst into flames?
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon, because that's... No.
That's not true.
No, no.
Was I supposed to write a book or something?
I don't know what you're supposed to do, but I haven't been in any contact with you for 2 years, right?
Have you had something wrong with your brain or your head?
No.
Why did that guy in Cuba, when that guy that read your palm in Cuba said that...
There's no guy that read my palm in Cuba.
You don't remember the guy that read your palm in Cuba?
No, no.
And he told me that there was something wrong with your brain and you had less than 5 years to live. And when I asked you about it when we got home, you gave me a sort of a troubled look.
Yeah, I guess so. I probably would be giving me a troubled look, but...
You haven't had amnesia or anything?
No, no, I'm pretty much good.
Now, you saw him in Mexico. You're sure of that?
I thought so. Were you down in Mexico when I was there?
You want to see my passport?
You brought your passport at my request.
Well, somebody's been messing with me.
Okay, now let's look at the stamps on the passport here. because your passport has travel stamps on it, and it has 1. And it's not Mexico.
Why did you put the Soggy Bottom Boys Mean Old Dirty Frisco Blues up on your YouTube account?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Now stop. You need to look at me for a minute.
Okay. Well, why would you have said that to me then?
None of this has happened.
You don't remember these things you've said, or because my memory is pretty solid.
The #1 show in daytime is taping now. All we need is you.
You're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping of the Dr. Phil show? Call 323-461-PHIL or visit drphil.com. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon. It does not matter why he put what where. The question was, has he been communicating with you for the last 2 years through songs and on your radio? And you said, if he tells me he has not, I will let it go. It doesn't matter what he put on his Facebook. It doesn't matter what he played on his radio. It doesn't matter what color he painted his house.
He's lying about what he said to me.
Did you tell her you were going to come back with a limousine and flowers?
No.
You didn't? You're lying about that too?
Well, I'm not lying about it.
You are lying. You said, I'll be back in 2 days with a limo and a big bouquet of flowers.
I was going 1,000 miles away to go to work. So.
Well, why would you have said that to me then? You don't remember these things you've said, or? Because my memory is pretty solid.
I don't think I've ever been able to afford a limo.
And were you not in my house? Did you not fix my door?
No,
The magnet on my door?
No.
Did you not break a piece off of my toilet?
These people haven't been hiding me either.
Did you not break the flushing thing off my toilet and then put it in my... Were you ever living in Edmonton in the last couple of years?
No, never have. Never, I'm sorry. There's your apology, I'm sorry. None of this has happened. And I hope you can accept that and take whatever help you can get from Dr. Phil and move along.
And you're not seeking a future with Sheila, but you do wish her the best.
That's true. No.
You harbor no ill will towards her?
I've been with a different woman for the past 2 years, and we're quite happy, and that's why I stopped returning your emails 2 years ago. Mentioned before.
Why did you indicate when you said...
Okay, no. You don't get to... No, Simon, don't answer that.
This is...
Well, it's
because not... Because 3 years of my life have been wasted. You told me I gave you like easily $15,000 in financial help. Yes, I did.
We're going to take a break now, and I'm going to thank Simon.
3 years of my life chasing cars around.
And excuse him.
Well, that's not...
Sheila has been on a very long journey searching for answers, and I'm glad that her journey has ultimately led her to me, because I think I know what's going on with her, and I think that I have some suggestions of how we can help. Simon, again, I thank you very much for being gracious enough to come here and help. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Sheila, let me talk to you for a second here.
He was lying. Like, he did say all that stuff to me. So, I mean, there's...
Men lie.
Yes, but why would you lie and then leave me to just chase cars and run myself into the ground?
The medication that you're on for your arthritis, and I don't deal with this actively anymore, but I actually did my doctoral dissertation on the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis, and so I'm very deep in that area, and I can tell you that the medications that are used for that and that you're on, 1 out of every 2 to 3 patients prescribed these medications for a prolonged period of time develop psychiatric symptoms.
Makes you start to have a phenomenon called ideas of reference, where you look at something that has a reference to you, only to you, and you really believe that.
So we need to really take a hard look at that and see if we can adjust that and maybe change some of those things so you can continue to get the medicinal support you need for the arthritis, but not have the side effects that you're dealing with, because when that effect clears up, you might look at the world and go, oh, wow, this looks a whole lot different than it does to me as you sit right now, because I do think you're experiencing side effects, and I do think it's still influencing you as we have this conversation.
He's lying. He did say all that stuff to me.
You've had the opportunity to say that, and now I'm offering to get you some help where we can get this sorted out, and if you'll let me do that, then I'll make the arrangement.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Sophie. We'll see you next time. All right. Here at Dr. Phil, we have a lot of fun in the audience, right? We have a lot of fun here. And we like to give our audience a lot of things, right?
I do want to give this audience something because, yes, I've been watching you through this whole show, and I think you all have been really fierce. And so I'm going to send you home with my 50 Fierce sunscreen and moisturizer. It's a double-duty product. Not only is it an SPF 50, it also is a moisturizer for your face. And then the second little gift I want to send you home with is Welcome Back Youth. Yes. It's a retinol serum.
So everyone in the audience is going home with both of those products.
Yes.
And if you at home want to get them, you can go to RobertMcGrawRevelation.com. Now, I want to tell you, if you want to have fun, you can come and be in our audience. And to do that, you can get tickets by going to drphil.com and click Get Tickets. They're free. We'll put you in the audience, and you'll be glad you were here. We'll see you next time.
Memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was the last time. I've always been naive, call it.
Every day and night, that's right. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know